It's week 9 of Beat the Drop, and there are still some places to be settled. With Southampton, sorry, Mike, already confirmed. Who will be joining them? Will it be Leeds? Will it be Leicester? Or will it be Everton? Welcome to week 9 of Beat the Drop. Boys, welcome. How are we all doing as the villain joins us as well?
Oh, God.
Does it work? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, mate. We can hear you.
We can hear you, trust me.
We can hear you. We've got John. May I say, John, it's an absolute pleasure to be sharing the Copacabana beach with you right now, mate. How's the tan looking, mate? You well?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not one that tans easily. Unlike Billy Connolly said, I'm a kind of pale blue. It takes me a week of sunbathing to get white, but I'm still enjoying the beach. I mean, I'm not in Bournemouth at the moment, but we do have a lovely beach down there, so it's not much of a trek to get to the where tanning alongside you with the Copacabana.
God, look at the state of it. Oh,
so humble. So humble.
oh.
I just got to announce that they made me turn my Hawaiian music off because of demonetization. So,
oh God! Hello to all the people in my channel. Hello, everyone. Yes, we can read everyone's chat. So yes,
we can. It's working today. For those who are just wondering, listening on the podcast later, Forrest Dan has made a grand arrival with his Hawaiian shirt on, with the shades on, with the palm tree, his cold drink, and his Awani shirt as well.
Now he's singing. Yeah. It's a big smile.
Now he's singing. Let's carry on saying hi to the boys.
Everton. Who gives a shit about them?
And there's the demonetization right there.
I need a
Mikey, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm long past the realms of acceptance, so I'm just looking on at what's going to happen on Sunday. I'm quite excited though. I'm kind of interested to see what happens. I thought it was a bit of a masterstroke from Leicester last night because no one would have considered them getting a point, So that's not a dumb move. So
Popcorn, anybody?
Oscar's on his way, boys. Oscar's on his way, and Mike is on his way. Don't worry. They're still in makeup right now, so hopefully they'll be here shortly, man. And I guess I have to ask you how you're doing, mate. But I think it's pretty obvious.
Oh, I'm quite happy, thank you. In fact, no, I'm very, very happy. I'm very relieved. I'm just enjoying life.
Are you a happy chappy?
Not a happy chappy. I don't think there is a happy chappy.
I'm basking in 10 years of glory, and it's all going downhill.
Bask away, mate. Bask away.
It's not a bottle of water. It's white spirit.
You don't know when Jace is throwing out the old 90s fucking retro WWE promos as well with his plastic crown on.
Oh, you mean this?
Jace, you predicted that we would beat Leeds. Yes, I did. What will we do to beat Leicester? We will use the West Ham way, and we will not stop.
Is that Burger King crap?
Leicester are down. Ready the Armada. We have a game to win.
Oh, jeez.
Is that what you were talking about, Lee?
Yeah, that's like a Sunday Night Heat promo that is back in the day.
What classic.
Oh, God.
Classic.
And Jace, how are you, mate? How's life treating you?
I'm doing well. I'm really happy. Everything's going well. Everything I said is right. And we're going to beat Leicester as well and send them down, unfortunately. And save. You know what makes it even better as well? We will be saving Everton. So Mike will have to thank me every time he sees me or listens to me. He will have to thank me for us saving them again. Well, not again, but saving them. Remember that.
And speaking of Mike, how are you, Mike? How are the nerves, mate? How are the nerves? Did you watch the game last night?
Mate, it's fucking horrible, and look, look, there was, all jokes aside from last week, big congratulations to West Ham for a couple of reasons. One, it is a European final. Credit to them. They've come from a tough tie. They've gone away from home, and very gratefully they've gone and beat, you know, a decent Leeds side, a side that was 1-0 up. So that was great. But mate, to be honest, I'm shitting myself, boys, because out of nowhere, Leicester City get a plucky 0-0 draw at Newcastle. To be fair to them, a sensational result, and they'll have some confidence going into that game against West Ham. And if I'm being honest, Everton have got no left back, no right back, no Calvert-Lewin. I'm dreading playing Bournemouth at home. So if I'm a betting man right now, I think Leicester are staying up.
No, surely not. You're in the
Is
driver's
this the same Bournemouth?
This is
lost 4 on the trot. Is this the same Bournemouth we're talking about?
Yeah, it's the same situation that Fulham come to Goodison and they beat us as well. So
Nothing to play for. Yeah, dangerous.
You know, everyone's writing off Leeds as well, though. Everyone's writing off Leeds.
They're right to. They're right to. Right
Well,
off Leeds.
let's ask her, how are you first, mate? And are they right to?
Yes, we are down, guys. We are down. Leicester get that stage, basically.
Oscar, is that acceptance?
Yeah,
is that what?
Acceptance. So you know, it's just that Leicester result kind of put us out of our misery. I thought, okay, there's only one team. You know, only one team between us and Everton. Oh no, there's 2 places now we've got to overtake to finish outside the relegation zone. Impossible. It's just not happening. I don't even think we'll beat Tottenham. I've seen nothing to suggest we could even beat Tottenham.
I reckon you got the toughest game
team that's well off it. Yeah. Harry Kane, we won't keep him quiet. Harry Kane, goal and assist pretty much nailed on. We are down, guys. We are down and dreadful and need a complete reset.
Well, Mikey, what phase would you say the 3 contenders are in here? Because you've been through these phases. I'm just keen to, from experience, where do you
I would say Oscar for sure is playing the we're done, we're dead, but deep down, there's a little bit inside he's thinking, maybe.
There's none. There might have been, if Leicester got beat yesterday, there might have been a little bit, but no, that's gone.
You're at home though. You're at home on Sunday, aren't you?
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah. I don't know why, but at home against Tottenham, and even we scored 3 against Tottenham at St Mary's, so anything's possible.
True. Where would you put Chappie, Mike?
Don't say in the bin. That's not nice.
A little bit of the same, actually. I still think there's a little bit, but that's the thing. Because there's a little bit of hope there, it makes it worse. If you've got just that little bit there, just like.
I just need Jace's boys just to realise I've got a cup final to focus on and just chill.
They're supposed to do that on Sunday, though, weren't they? Let's be honest.
True.
The problem is, Lee.
It's still subject that, Mike. You don't need to bring that up again, mate.
That's the problem.
No need for that.
What was
They
that?
put out a strong team, though, didn't they?
Do you know what? Single-handedly, David Moyes is going to keep Everton up.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. It's a shout.
Interesting. So with that question, well, firstly, a huge thank you it's on our channel, to Delete the Elite with the 5 gifted memberships, to Sarah Ahmed, to Estro, to Matt Price, to Mark Hill, and to Ollie. Congratulations, guys. Make sure you show Delete the Legend Elite some love. And just very quickly, we are streaming across most of the guys' channels now. Please don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already. And more importantly, show these boys some love. I mean, some of us are on the beach, but there's still a few that are shitting themselves, to say the least.
Absolutely. I've gone through every pair of pants. I've got nothing left.
You're wearing your whites now, are you?
Hey,
that's
now,
on the weekends, aren't you? Let's have a quick review of the games that were played. I do want to start with the Leeds West Ham one, because we all had eyes on it. Well, actually, no, we didn't, because we were more interested in the Everton one. But I want to start with that one first. Jace, the talk was there was going to be huge, like kids coming out, huge kids, but a huge change in the formation in the team sheet. Kids were going to be played and everything, and then suddenly, to Oscar's demise, there was a real strength in that team, mate. What was going on there?
No, like I said, I thought it was ridiculous what some of the West Ham fans were saying, that we're playing a weak team now. We've got about, how many days we've got till the final now? We've got ages till the final.
Yeah.
It was literally, like I said as well, to you guys as well, there's still money in it for all of us, getting as high as we can. And like and that's it, basically. We needed to win just to get over the 40, we need to get 40 points. That was it.
Jace, you needed to win to make sure you finished above us. Because
Yeah,
had you
exactly.
not, we'd have been on the same points and we'd have been gunning for you.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Like, we needed to win, so we've done the job. Everything's done. It was a professional game, really professional game. Leeds just didn't look, they just weren't there, was they? They were struggling to score goals.
What happened, Oscar? Because you went 1-0 up, and then you went into Forest-style full low block and just were like, come get us.
It was terrible. It was dreadful. I mean, first 20 minutes I thought we were pretty good. We took the lead, but yeah, just could see what was going to happen. We're going to park the bus at that point, and we haven't got the players to do that, and that's what Big Sam does. And we did it against Newcastle, it backfired. Did it against West Ham, it backfired, and we're kind of, I think it's 25 points now. I think we've dropped from winning positions this season. It's just absolutely insane. I think us and Leicester, I think we're actually overtaking Leicester now for most points dropped. So at least we're coming home with something, boys. At least we're going home with something. But yeah, it's just kind of summed us up, really. Second half, as soon as it goes to 1-1, 2-1, heads completely dropped. And West Ham, I thought, in fairness, West Ham were really good. Declan Rice was... You just see the difference in qualities between him and our midfield was just absolutely outrageous, really. It was like almost an FA Cup game where it's a Premier League side with the lower level Championship team, really, at times. And yeah, the goals you can see were poor. And Robles, plus a few awful West Ham misses, probably stopped it being a 4-1, 5-1 kind of game. Quite easily being that. And the fact that we needed the result, West Ham, obviously just played a really grueling cup game, Conference League game in Alkmaar, and you just wouldn't be able to tell that at all. West Ham just totally outplayed us, and we just showed absolutely nothing to suggest that we can get out of this. And in all honesty, the Big Sam experiment has backfired massively. It's just.
Do you think you would add more chance sticking with what's his name, Garcia?
No, I mean we had to roll the dice, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's just been a
should have gone to Big Sam.
Horrible season for us. We've had Jesse Marsh, Javi Gracia, Sam Allardyce, some of the worst football. Probably played the worst football in the whole league, to be honest. And it's just been an absolute shocker. 25 million on Brendan Aronson, 35 million on Jorginho Ruta, neither of which started the game, neither of which have really done anything all season. It's just been an absolute shocker. And in all honesty now, I kind of think of it now and look at what Burnley did last season and think, maybe we just need that season in the Championship, or hopefully that season in the Championship, to rebuild. But I wouldn't even have any confidence in us being a competitive Championship team at this point. We've got no sporting director. We've got no manager at this point. We've got 10 or 12 players who think they're too good for the Championship. It's not looking good, boys. It's not looking good at all. I think we're just in a complete mess.
John, what phase is he in? He's gone.
Well, a couple of things. I told our chat repeatedly. Our chat was saying when we used to be in a bit of trouble, they were saying, "Oh no, we've had it. West Ham, they're going to put out the kids." I said, "No, they've got to keep those players sharp for that cup final. They can't just rest those players for a fortnight. It's ridiculous. You can't do it." So that was one thing. Going back to Oscar and his Leeds team, I said at the time when people saying, "Oh fucking hell, they've got Big Sam now. That's it. They're up." I said, "No. Big Sam builds his teams on defence. Leeds have still got the same defenders. Yes, he might be able to make them play a little bit better, but he's not going to have that much of an improvement. All of a sudden, that terrible defence who were letting in goals, is all of a sudden become watertight. That's why it was never going to work, in my opinion."
I don't think you can even blame Big Sam as well, to be honest. It was just too late for him, to be honest.
You can't blame him.
It was too late. And to be honest, watching them, since he's come in, they played a little bit better. But it was too late. Too late for Big Sam.
Yeah.
Too late for Sam.
Too late for anybody, wasn't it? 4 games.
Yeah, agreed.
4 games, wasn't it? I mean, they had to. I get they had to.
To be honest, boys.
But they're still not down. You're still not down, Oscar.
Nah, you're trying to get me to say that I think we'll stay up and then you can clip me for
I'm just
next
looking for a
week.
clip, mate. I'm looking for a clip.
You're looking for it, but now it's
Oscar,
not happening,
people
boys.
before the game on Saturday, all the big pundits on telly were saying Forest are down. They've got Arsenal and Palace away. Forest got no, they're gone. Well, they all changed their mind after the game, so you never know, do you?
Yeah, you never know. We've still got a chance, but it's just the fact that it's Leicester in between us and Everton now. I think if it was Leicester, say, got beat last night, I'd have a little bit more confidence to say, okay, but at least if we get an early goal against Tottenham, we can put a little bit of pressure around Goodson Park, and you never know. Because we're in a similar situation last season against Burnley, but albeit we were level on points, but we got the early goal at Brentford, and all of a sudden Burnley started to panic. Burnley started to power forward, and Newcastle scored, and it really affected them. But when it's 2 teams relying on to drop points, it just seems too big, much to do, and it relies on us getting a result as well. And I just can't see it. It's
gonna be exciting, Mikey, Everton, Mikey. Because how big is that? I mean, I thought Wolves were the ref was going to play until you scored. Really, I don't know where he got 9 minutes from, but fair play. Mina comes in, keeper goes into nomad land. But how big could that point be? Are you feeling? I mean, I feel you could have got something more out of Wolves, to be honest. But you weren't great. And then Calvert-Lewin goes off as well. Is that point going to be that enough?
There's real jeopardy, isn't there? It's they all say there's always one final twist. And is it that Leicester, after being, let's be honest, and this
Crap.
is no disrespect to any Leicester fans,
We have been poor.
we all thought they were down, weren't we? No, in the 19th, and we all thought they were gone. None of us give them a chance at Newcastle. So, the 9 minutes, and I'm quite glad really that Scott isn't there to defend himself. But the 9 minutes was simply from how much time Wolverhampton Wanderers waste. It's actually unbelievable. I couldn't believe them. And it seems to be quite a done thing with Wolves. But look, I get it. They want to frustrate the opposition. They did it at Goodison last season. So I'm really glad that the referee reflected the time, because actually, if you'd have stopped play for the amount of time it was with the subs, it was actually 12 minutes you should have given, not 9. But look, that's near there.
Semantics, mate. Semantics.
The only thing that I think would have given me more confidence about getting a point there, I still thought Everton would score, and I thought we'd score. I was convinced we'd score, because we haven't really died away from home. We went to Palace, we got a draw. We went to Leicester, we got a draw. We somehow managed to go and beat Brighton. We went to Forest, we got a draw. All of a sudden, Sean Dyche just managed to turn us into a pretty decent away team. Whereas me and you, Ant, as you know, literally 5 weeks ago, we were on the show saying we were the 2 worst away teams in the league. Well, Everton are now 12th.
No, it's just us.
Yeah, in terms of away form. So, the point is great, but it doesn't help, because Leicester went and got a point that, no disrespect, we didn't expect. And let's be honest, they almost got 3 right at the end. If it weren't for fantastic stats.
Yeah.
Going into the Bournemouth game now, it just creates anxiety. A lot of people from outside Everton will be saying Goodison Park will be rocking. The players will be up for it. Everyone, the grand old lady will be singing. But the anxiety from the fans, from me, from the other 40,000 that will be there, that will spread onto the pitch. And, if news comes through that Leicester score or Leeds score, Everton are going to be very, very worried. It might be in our hands, but this has happened before and we've bottled it. So I'm not confident at all, if I'm being truthful.
Don't rock that stadium too fucking hard. It'll fall down. Mate.
It'll fall down. I really do think that Everton, without sounding, and I don't quite know how we're going to do this with the players that we're going to not have, but we need to go 2-0 up early. We need to kill it off early. We need to kill off the emotion. We need to, without sounding awful to Leicester and Leeds, because I love and respect both of those football teams. I've got all the time in the world for both of those, and I wish there was other teams going down instead of those guys.
Leave Bournemouth out of this.
But we have to kill it off early. We have to kill it off. We have to give Leicester no hope, Leeds no hope. So they just go, yeah, look, hands up, boys, we're going down, we surrender. My worry is Everton won't have the personnel to do that. So that point, in my opinion, doesn't make much difference. But Yerry Mina, how sensational has he been since coming back into the team?
Yeah.
Sean Dyche picking Michael Keane over Yerry Mina. I'll call it now. I would have no issue if Sean Dyche is not the Everton manager next season, irrespective of what league we're in. But yeah, I'm scared, boys. I'm truly scared.
Mate, you are hyping it.
How I panned it, to be honest.
You are making me excited for Sunday. I can't wait for it. Chappie, I just want to jump Chappie. I know he's got to go in a minute. Chapster, mate. Yesterday, same question. Does that point mean anything? Because it has lifted you above Oscar's lot. Are you feeling a little better? It's the first clean sheet you've had since the Stone Age, wasn't it?
Mate, it's been mental since the World Cup. We are the only team in 4 top flight divisions of every league in Europe that's basically conceded a goal every game since the World Cup. So last night was like a mini victory just for breaking that record finally. I'm worried. I'm not going to lie, because we've got to be to be honest, a good looking side now. West Ham, they look strong, and they've got that momentum. And I don't think they're going to go in weak. I think they'll need to keep that form and momentum mentally going by playing a lot of their players. So I don't. Yeah, see, Jace is doing the Undertaker exactly. But the truth is, they will. I don't think they're going to chill. I really don't. I think they will go all out, and I'm worried that if they do, we're going to get panned, because Leicester at the minute seem to be only one way, which is defend, defend, defend. Look at last night. I mean, the woodwork was man of the match. It speaks for itself. They should have scored 4. It was ridiculous. And then we nearly nicked it at the death, which was the game plan, clearly. And I don't think that's going to work against West Ham. I really don't see how that's going to work against West Ham.
Can I just say that hearing Chappie talk like that, it's just weak.
No, it's not weak. I'm being realistic. Jay.
Lost. No. You're just so deflated. What's deflated to you?
Listen,
but give yourself some. Come on, man. Give yourself.
We can't all have our heads in the clouds like you.
Start believing in yourself, man. Come on, wake up, man. Don't act like this. Fight us, man. Why are you so weak and defeated? Come on. Give us something. Give me something back.
Okay.
Give me something back. Come on.
Chappie, get yourself a Burger King crown. You'll feel
Chappie, he makes a point. You can't go into this defeatist.
Yes.
Go on, Ann. Go on quickly, Ann.
Every time.
Hold on, Jace. Go on, Ann.
If I was Chappie, I would be saying, look, I believe we can beat West Ham. My fear is that the teams above us, the teams around us, Everton will beat Bournemouth. That's what I would be saying.
I'm not
confident in my own team, even if it was delusional. But I would say I think we can beat West Ham, but I'm worried about Everton beating Bournemouth.
I'll be honest with you. That's obviously that is the correct way to look at it. But I look at it a different way. It don't matter. We have to win, so it don't matter about the other result. The result, if that happens, it happens. Yeah. We've got to focus on our game and win our game. And I don't see how we're going to win. I don't see it. God. I don't see how we're going to beat West Ham at home. I don't see how we're going to do it.
Tell me how you're going to do it.
I don't know how. Look at the home games, right?
Give me your fight, man.
Listen, for example,
you're just weak on the floor. Come on, man.
Hold on,
here's an example. At home, right? Crystal Palace, 31 shots to fucking 3 the whole game. That is what you're up against at home at the King Power. Unless something miraculously has changed, I've not seen anything better at home at the KP since. I really haven't.
You've bloody won the Premier League. You won an FA
That was fucking
Cup.
7 years ago. You were still in nappies. You were still in nappies.
Oh my God. He's woken up. Come on, give me that fight! For God's sake, Jesus Christ!
Jace, you know that isn't actually Jamie Vardy. He can't go into the dressing room and give a rousing speech.
You know what I mean?
What Chappie thinks isn't going to make the blind bit of difference about how the Leicester.
I'm just going to grab my mic.
Oh, he just went on to mute. No.
Oh, even his mic's been relegated.
He's jumped early, is Mike. Here's what I would say in terms of, certainly with Chappie talking about that he couldn't see a victory as well, in terms of what I would say is, if you looked at the Leicester game against Newcastle last night, you are Newcastle. The one thing Newcastle were desperately lacking was someone to put the ball into the box to. They played horseshoe football most of the time. Went up the left wing, came to the midfield, went up the right wing, came to the midfield, and they didn't try getting through Leicester at all, which they probably could have done. But then they weren't putting crosses in either. There was, you had your big three centre backs in there, particularly Suter, who's really going to be the saviour, I think, if you're going to get anything from West Ham. But West Ham, don't worry about that. They'll get the ball in the mixer all the time. The ball will drop to anyone and they'll get a goal. And that's the thing that I worry most about with Leicester's defence, is that West Ham will play direct. They'll do whatever they like. Whatever style of football whatever you consider a West Ham style of football, it's effective. So it's going to be a very difficult one for Leicester to deal with.
You're mentioning about the defence. Yesterday was led by a Sir Johnny Evans, and believe it or not, he got injured again.
Yeah, and went off.
So
again.
I can't see him even being in the squad on Sunday. Indeed, he also got injured, which is another defensive player that I think he worked his socks off yesterday, to be fair. It's two players again, key players that we're probably going to end up missing.
Yeah, but you drawed against the third best team in the league. Yeah. You did.
That means shit. That means nothing.
Means something. It's the last game's coming up.
Listen,
17%. You should be up for it.
17% ball possession. 17% ball possession, though, Jace. Would you be happy with 17% ball? Listen.
You're in a relegation battle. Yeah, it's got to be shit football. Get excited.
Got to score some goals,
the last game. Give yourself some. Oh God.
Chappie, Forest beat Arsenal with 18%. Forest beat Arsenal with 18. You were 1% off winning. You just needed to get to 18, and you would have beat Newcastle.
Are people familiar with the 5 stages of grief? Because I think that is sort of like where we are in this, and I think that both Oscar and Chappie are all the way down in acceptance.
Okay, here we are. It's reverse psychology. I am actually quite confident after taking a point from a third Newcastle. This is all reverse psychology. I'm just playing it global.
JC won't come
I'm playing it global, right? There's something's going to happen here. Something magical is going to happen here. All right, 2013-14. The Great Escape happened, and the next season we went on to win the Prem. Get your £10 out and put Leicester to win the Prem next season, because you just never know in this fucking game. And we're coming for you, Jace. On Sunday, we're fucking coming for you. You're going to have to rely. You're going to have to rely on Mike down here. You're going to have to rely on him, his team, to beat Bournemouth for us to go down. Facts.
Oh my God.
Facts.
Thank you.
Jamie fucking Vardy is coming to fucking slay you boys down.
He's coming for a party.
Oh my God! Finally, he's arrived. He's arrived. Come on! We're gonna destroy you, though. But come on! Give it to you. Sorry, Mike.
Okay, he's awake. It's good to see. I'm interested in the Beach/R boys. Let's go to Mike first. Saints Mike, how are you seeing this? If you had to put your house on it now, who's staying up out of Chappie, Mike, and Oscar? And don't be all sentimental because you share names with one of them, right? Come on, think with your head.
I'm sorry. I think Leeds are done. If I'm completely honest, and I think it's between Everton and Leicester. And I keep hearing Everton might talk about all the players that are super injured, and I do think, when you've got a team that's got nothing to play for apart from a few places at the league, I think John's Bournemouth side could be quite dangerous. And if they don't score early on, Everton, it took them 99 minutes to score against Wolves.
I've got one of them happy clappers.
There we go. You never know. Leicester are going to have to play completely differently to how they played last night. Literally just sort of park the bus and put a few more buses in front of it. They're going to have to. They've got to go out and win. But yeah, I think it's between Everton and Leicester. But I can weirdly see Leicester doing it.
Oh, come on.
Ooh.
Inject
Can I
that,
just quickly
inject
say
it,
as well?
inject it.
Can I just quickly say
Wait,
as well?
just before you jump in, Jace, let me just a quick shout out to Ant the Hat. Yeah, Lee, we got loads of happy clapper juice. I've got stockpiles. I'll send you some over, mate. Thank you so much for the $4.99, bud. Go on, Jace. What are you gonna say?
I was just saying that at the Newcastle and Leicester game, did you see how the Leicester players were reacting? They was like, I know it was a draw on that, but they were excited. They were, giving their clap into the band. Yeah, they were really
Good
going
draw.
for it. They were happy. You know what I mean? Like they were ready for West Ham. They're ready for West Ham. They're ready to give it all against us. And that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see.
Lee, should you have done that earlier? Should you have played that low block, boring football?
To be honest with you, I'm surprised Dean Smith didn't get that in his ear from Shaky to begin with, because I have no idea why he didn't just do that from when he first came in. It seemed to have worked. You're looking at some of the teams that we played. I think maybe that should have been the tactic, to begin with. But hey, these things happen, and you just never know. I'm seeing something at the last game. You know what? The last 4 weeks, I've had to watch you lot all play first and then sit watching you lot anxious, and then Monday fucking night. And I was sick to death of it. 4 weeks back to back. Honestly,
Horrible.
It's been too much. It's been too much. So to all be playing at the same time, it's nerve-wracking, exciting. It's just mayhem. I wish there was more of you involved.
The relegation playoff.
I wish there was more of you involved. I wish there was just a point between all of us. It'd have been insane.
Well, if Fulham hadn't messed up against West Ham, then maybe West Ham would have still been in this. But Mike, I want to talk about your goal difference. Does that worry you? Because one thing Leicester have got is the goal difference on you. So potentially, if you were to draw and Leicester win, and thank you so much for subscribing, Sharky, absolute legend, and Jamie Lee as well. Is that a scenario that worries you? Because I think that's what maybe gives Leicester a little edge on you, Mikey, because had they not got that point yesterday, you could have drawn. But now a draw could put you down.
That's what scared me, if I'm being honest. It was the fact that they did get that point yesterday. If Leicester hadn't have got that point, I would have been comfortable and positive coming on here today and saying, I think we stay up. Because in my heart of hearts, I think it's going to be 2-2. And my issue with that is I've predicted the last 3 Everton scores correct. Oh, no, sorry, the last 2. I didn't get bought. Wow. Let's be honest. But the Man City one and the Wolves one, I've got correct. So I'm sitting here thinking it's going to be 2-2. And then we are massively relying on David Moyes and West Ham to do the job that Everton unfortunately cannot do, which pains me to say. But if it's going to be any manager, I wish it is David Moyes, because I have got a soft spot for him.
Mike, why are you not asking me? Why are you not saying to me, please, Jason? Why are you not saying?
Because you'll get off on it.
Why are you not begging me?
Because what happens, Jason, is you are sadomasochist, so you will get out that willy and you will strum it.
You need us to win. You need us to win. I want you to say, please.
All over. It will be like
beat Leicester.
Get on your hands and knees and tell me you love me.
Tell me.
Hey,
say it.
Say it again, Mike. Say it again.
Dirty, Mike. Do it dirty. No, all jokes aside, look, I am terrified. Everton need to go 2-0 up early, kill all the emotion out of this situation. The problem is, Everton can't do that. So it's going to be horrible. Strap in, boys, because I'm telling you now, Sunday is going to be emotional for the 3 of us.
You know what, though? It's definitely, the pressure is definitely on Everton at the moment, aren't they? I know they've got... Yeah,
you think
you're just looking at it. It's so, the pressure is all on Everton. I know it doesn't look like it, but it really is.
Look at the games. Look at the games when the pressure's been on Everton. Look what's happened. Fulham at home. The pressure was on Everton. That was the game that Everton were going to win and pull themselves out of this mess. we lose 3-1. The game where we go to Brighton, no pressure, we're expected to lose. We smash them 5-1. This Everton team can't cope with pressure.
It's such a yo-yo results, isn't it, for Everton?
It's horrible.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So do me a favour. I'm not begging you. But go and have a quick word with Mr. Moyes and tell him that bring out his Everton top again. Bring out his Everton coat and keep us in the Premier League, please.
Mike.
You know what?
I got a question. Sorry. I got a question for you, Mike. Actually, is Damari Gray fit for the fixture?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's Mope.
Oh my god, because he's still.
Mate, I'm telling you now, if Mope starts that football match, irrespective of if we stay up, you won't see me next week.
Mate, Damari Gray. Oh my god.
So Damari Gray could relegate you, Chappie. How would that feel?
I can already
Damari
see
Gray
it.
will start. He will start
because
obviously Gray's injured. Calvert-Lewin's injured. It's confirmed. Lewin's out.
Oscar, do you need to get on your knees to John as well here? Because you need to do a double job basically here, don't you? You need Jace to sort you out, and you need some help from John here.
Oscar's
I need a favour from JJ.
I mean, do you know which way to tell
Listen, it relies on us doing our job, but I do just think if we can get a decent start, as much as being negative.
if you got a decent start, I'm sure that'd be.
If we got a decent start against Tottenham, I think we could crumble in that atmosphere. But it's all about how we start that first 10 minutes of that game on Sunday. If we can score early doors, it does put a bit of pressure on Everton and Leicester. But listen, I think the pressure's probably least on us because I don't think there's any Leeds fan. Listen, we'll all believe before kick-off in that lot, and we're not going to get behind the lads in that lot. But there's not really going to be many Leeds fans really going into that thinking we can stay up. Last season when we went to Brentford, listen, that was ridiculous as well. I would manage to stay up at Brentford last season, but there's probably like a 10-20% chance of staying up on that day. I think what they give us 3% chance. I think they're giving Leeds to staying up on the basis of all the results. I can't see if any team's ever stayed up with that lower probability or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I just think Everton are going to beat Bournemouth. To be honest, I just think Everton have got it in them to win that game.
Oscar, the Spurs are in the mud at the moment, though, mate. Like,
Yeah, exactly. The only thing with Spurs is I think if they win, they're in the Conference League. So depends how much they're asked about that. Really, that's it.
Now there is a topic.
Kane. I mean, it's an incredibly difficult thing to do, but if you stop Kane, you pretty much stop Spurs. If we're being totally honest, but it's stopping Kane that's a difficult thing to do. But I'm sure that's what Big Sam's going to target, stopping that passing to Kane, in between the lines and that lot. But yeah, we might get some moments against Tottenham. I'm hoping Rodrigo starts up top. I think there's just no messing about. Rodrigo up top. I mean, the goal he scored against West Ham is a travesty. That's just meant absolutely nothing.
That was from the Forest playbook, mate. The Rory Delap throw in.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. I mean, Weston McKennie is better with his hands than he is with his feet, to be honest with you. It's that kind of sums it up, really. But, it's one of them for us. I mean, if we can somehow beat Tottenham, it does put a little bit of pressure on Mike and Lee, but I don't know. I just think I think the difference is that Newcastle game. I think if we really were meant to stay up, Bamford would have scored that penalty, would have won that game at 2-0 up. We'd have held on against West Ham. We were meant to stay up, but you see Leicester getting that result against Newcastle. You see Everton getting that result against Wolves and Brighton. Just getting those little results, in during this run of form. Forest as well, of course. You put a right run of results together and you're on the beach.
That miss against Leicester's huge, isn't it? Bamford.
Yeah, of course. That's an momentum changer as well. I'm not going to put it all on Bamford because, listen, there's been far too many players this season have been well below par. I mean, the back line, I think it's got away with murder, the back line, to be honest, in terms of criticism, because Bamford gets the vast majority of it from the fan base. But I look at the back line and thinking, dearie me, like the third goal against West Ham, great bit of skill off Paqueta, but what on earth is that for defending? He
was offside, mate. He was offside. I didn't understand that one. He was offside.
But the way we defended that goal, I mean,
horrific. And hasn't had to say yet. Before I do, just quick run over. We got about 500 of you guys in it. Thank you all for being here.
Well
please
done,
make
everyone.
sure you hit the like button, and please, more importantly, subscribe to all these legends channels. All you have to do is click in the description. You don't even have to copy and paste anything. Just click on the blue tag, go and press subscribe. Subscribing is completely free to do. So please make sure you subscribe to the legends. And where I mean, you must be loving this episode, and you're sitting back. You can't even be asked to say anything. You're so relaxed, man. What are you thinking about what the boys are saying? Like, who would you give confidence to here, mate?
I can just say what I like now, can't I? I don't have to give a shit about coming back or anything.
When did that stop you before, Ant?
I was just going to say, John. Oh, there goes the tree. It's gone down.
The tree's shocked. You're just going to speak your mind. He's already fallen over.
Give us a roaring speech. Give him advice.
Come on, Ant. Tell him
what to do.
What I was going to say was, obviously,
that helping?
Everton are in by far the best position. I mean, let's face it. If you said, you've got to beat Bournemouth at home, we've got nothing to play for, lost 4 on the trot to stay up. Most people would
three on the trot.
Sorry, mate. I do apologise. 3 on the trot. Most people would pick that. Most people would say, yeah, I'll take that. Of all the games we could play, it could be fucking Liverpool away. It could be Arsenal. Well, it could be Man City away. It's not. It's Bournemouth at home.
God,
Come on,
yeah.
be real. Be fucking real, right? You've got a piss easy last game. You should stroll it. Just fucking stroll it. No excuses. Fucking hell. Pressure. Jesus Christ. What do you think the others are under? If you think you're under pressure. Okay? However, football's a funny old fucking game. And there's nothing on this planet to say that Everton won't lose, Leicester won't lose, and Leeds will win, and it's them that get out of it. Nothing. Wouldn't surprise me one bit, because it's a funny old game. So all 3 of you, bless your hearts, have got a chance. You've all got a chance.
It's mad.
And I'm just glad it's not us.
Sorry, can I ask?
Wait, one last little thing.
Yeah, go on, Jace.
One last little thing. Nottingham Forest Football Club. Last 5 games, relegation season. Talk about Bottle. Talk about fucking Arsenal. Talk about fucking Liverpool. Nottingham Forest.
Hey.
Last 5 games. We lost away to Brentford. Shouldn't have lost. Last 10 minutes. Down to 10 men because of injuries. Okay. Shouldn't have lost it. 1 loss. 3 wins and a draw. That is how I get out of relegation, my friends.
That's the speech. That's the speech.
I love this man. I love him.
Johnny
Can I
boy.
just ask? Can I just quickly ask Statman John? Statman John, how are you feeling in this whole thing, by the way? How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I didn't come on here
smiling.
just to get insulted, really, to be honest. And by someone that's not even involved in the fucking relegation battle as
Nor
well.
are we, mate, but we're still here. We're still here.
So, yeah, I think it's a funny one, because I suppose I was wondering when we would come on to sort of the Everton-Bournemouth game. It's a funny one in this one, because...
Let's go on to it.
You've got to look so far in the season. Bournemouth have already played Everton twice. Now they were both admittedly at the Vitality at Dean Court, but the aggregate score was 7-1. And we both played our B team in the cup, and that was 4-1, and we both played our A team in the league, and that was 3-0.
John, we didn't play our B team in the cup. We played our A team.
Okay.
It was just that bad. It looked like a B team.
Okay. They played fine. Well, to be fair, the A team played like a B team in both games, but it's and then what's the Bournemouth Everton record like recently? Last 4 games between the 2 clubs, Bournemouth have won 4 out of 4. So it's the. Is those the stats you were looking for, Jace?
I love the stats. I love
it. It's going to be an odd one. Bournemouth's in terms of what Mike was saying in terms of Everton need to score early. Bournemouth's worst periods in this season have been in the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes. They have conceded more goals in those 2 periods than in any other part of the game. So if Everton are going to score, it's probably going to be early. And you know when they beat Brighton 5-1 when no one expected it, they scored early in those games. Obviously, they scored in the first minute, I think, was Decore, and then in the first 20-15 with the second. And then in terms of Bournemouth are definitely vulnerable if, let's say, it's still 1-1, 0-0. If we're winning 2-1 for whatever reason with 10 minutes to go, we're not the most reliable at just sitting in and defending a lead. You've only got to look at, admittedly, it's very different sides, but Arsenal, Spurs, admittedly, we came back to win that one again. We've conceded, even Leeds, we were 3-1 up and we lost 4-3 in that game. So there's still a long way this could go. I think I'm not going to be any kind of fan that thinks, Everton have been terrible recently. We should win that one. We've got a decent chance of winning it, but it's just as good a chance that Everton are going to beat us as well. It's on the
fence.
I do think it could be. I do think a draw is the most likely result. The problem is for Everton, draw's not good enough. A draw just isn't good enough because that doesn't guarantee them staying up. If Leeds win, a draw for Everton is fine. If Leicester win,
but John, it's not the fact if we win 4-0.
Yeah. No, it's 3. It's 3. You need 3, don't you?
I only need 3 goals. Come on, John.
Yeah, come on. That should make you feel a little better.
All right, that's where your 3% becomes 0.3%. If you want to win 3-0.
You're minus 27, Oscar. Everton are minus 24, and Leicester are minus 18. Us and John, we're sitting pretty in the 30s.
John, Bournemouth's going to do it, innit? Oh my God! I just realised. Bournemouth's going to do it.
Leicester City have scored, I think it's 3 goals less than Man United. How the fuck are we where they are?
Don't even make sense, does it? Like, what the fuck? How does that work?
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Mike,
I just want to get a topic out on here that you'll be like, oh yeah, every single one of us in here except for one has been relegated from the Premier League. There's only one.
Yeah.
And doesn't know the pain, doesn't know the feel of that.
Everton.
What will that mean to you, Mike, if you actually do go down for the first time?
Honestly, boys, look, all jokes aside, if Everton get relegated and we do this stream next week, you'll probably see me cry. And instead of you nailing me to the wall, I'm genuinely going to need some cuddles because it's going to be horrendous. This team hasn't been relegated. I mean, Chappie, you're right. We haven't been relegated. We haven't been relegated in 69 years.
Holy shit.
What a nice
year to do it.
Perfect time to go down.
A bit before your time now, Mike. A bit before your time.
Yeah, let Mike's soothing voice cuddle you.
Yeah, Mike, will you be able to come for your fellow namesake, Mike? I mean, you're there sitting with him. Maybe a quick cuddle would sort him out. I mean, what would be, what was your method, Mike, to get over this? Because there had to be a stage where it wasn't in the acceptance phase. Like, how did you get to the acceptance phase? These boys may need your consultation next week.
Yeah, but we were in the acceptance phase for weeks before. But that final whistle against Fulham, that when you heard it, I mean, I had this whole kind of speech for the final whistle to go through it, and all I could say was, "It's over, it's over." Just stumble. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. But you'll be surprised how many people call you up. It's almost like you've lost a loved one. It's a bit weird. People literally phoning me out going, just checking in with you, mate. It's like, why are you calling? You never call me. It's just want to know you're okay.
Do you know what's worse? It's actually my wife's birthday on that day.
Oh no! God! Oh God! That's just
You need to order the flowers now. Get everything sorted now because you're not going to be.
Please go down.
Oh my God!
It's perfect. There'll
be a lot of.
There's a joke in there about going down, but I'm leaving it alone.
Oh my God!
Mike's already made that
joke. Why can I see Mike eating all the cake to himself?
You know what I love as well, right? What I've seen as well, Mike's camera's getting darker and darker and gloomier. It's just perfect.
Oh no.
Mike, did what John say fill you with confidence or fear? Because he did kind of sit on the fence, but he gave both sides of the argument.
It's exactly what I expected. We have been, Bournemouth have been one of these teams over the years we've had some fantastic football matches, but the last 4 times we just haven't turned up. We just haven't turned up. The season Bournemouth went down. They beat us 4-1 on the last game of the season. They were fantastic. If they'd have played like that all game, and that was at Goodison. That was at Everton.
Oh,
What was the last result? What was the last result between you and Bournemouth?
No fans were in the stadium.
3-0.
There was a difference one. There were no fans
3-0
for that when we went
3-0.
down. But yeah, 3-0 in the league and 4-1 in the League
insane.
Cup were the last 2, and those were half a week apart. So those were the last 2 games. But yeah, before that it was the season we went down. We won both games 3-1. Still went down, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And I do think that the big swing on this, as Mike has already brought up, is the injuries. Those are some big players that Everton are missing. Calvert-Lewin in particular, because who have you got to replace him? But a few others. I mean, I don't know whether Cody would come back in or not. If you've got Yeremina and who was the other one? Tarkovsky, was it, that played other back? Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. And Bournemouth don't have anything to play for apart from maybe finishing 1 place higher in the league. The only thing we've got is finishing maybe 2 places higher, I think, but not much. I think we can go above Wolves and West Ham.
Isn't this more down to our Bournemouth? Isn't this more down to our Bournemouth actually attack the game rather than Everton? Whether Bournemouth are going to turn up or not? Is it more to do with that than Everton? Everton are Everton, aren't they? They're shit. But
Someone's echoing. Someone's echoing.
hello. I'm okay.
I think it came when.
I think it
when
might be
Oscar
it's
you.
Forest
appeared.
Ant.
It's you, Ant.
Hang on.
Is it?
It's you,
I'll
I think
mute
It will
this.
be.
Is there an echo?
Is there an echo still?
It's Ant. It's Ant. It was
Well, it might
Ant,
be Ant.
Mike.
And Ant, do something. I want to let's bring poor Oscar back in.
Yeah, it's gone.
Mute your mic, mate. You're echoing.
Yeah.
It's gone.
They're not
it's
saying it's
very
gone.
faint.
It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Now it's gone. Oscar, I want to build a
It's
case.
gone really dark. Look at Mike's screen now.
Yeah,
It's
Mike,
even
what's going on,
darker.
mate? You're
I love
fading.
it. I love it. He's fading away to the championship.
Kind of a light. There he is.
Just let him go turn the light in the room on. It'll brighten up.
We are
Oscar,
the
surely
world.
you can see. Oh, I can't go serious with you, Larry. Oscar, right? I mean, Spurs are
He's
crap.
leaving.
I watched them against Brentford. Where's Mike?
Bloody hell.
You in the office, Mike? Is that the new stadium? Right?
That was-
Is that the boardroom at the new stadium?
Everton themed dining room. Amazing.
Right, anyway, let's get back to it. Right, Oscar, you've got to be, if 4 games ago, right, when Big Sam came in, I feel that he thinks to himself, if he could take it to the last game and there was a chance, he would have accepted that. That he can do the Sam Allardyce thing and push it across the line. He's been in these pressure cooker situations before. Is he not the best suited here, or do you think Dyche probably has the edge? If we're talking about the managers now, which manager would you rather in your corner? I mean, I don't think anyone would want Dean Smith, including Chappie. But would you rather have Dyche or would you rather have Allardyce? And guys in the chat, let's put this question out to you guys as well. If you were in this situation, which manager do you think is best suited for it?
That's like choosing between shit and sick, isn't it?
I thought we were getting Sean Dyche because he was spotted. This is before he signed to Mikey down there. He was spotted in Leicester.
Mate, he's been in every Forest game. He was going Forest. But anyway, I want to hear what Oscar's got to say. Go on, Oscar. Like,
Is this
do you
pure-
trust Sam more than the
forgetting
others?
games, forgetting the teams to manage, just purely who's the better manager between Dyche and Allardyce?
Yeah.
Well, I think in recent years you've got to say Dyche, if we're being totally honest. I think Allardyce
Yeah.
really... Listen, I know Allardyce probably he has got a broader thing of work, over his career, but if you're going off the last 4 or 5 years, then Dyche all day long, really, if we're being totally honest. But I don't think there's a massive difference, really. I think both play similar kind of style of football. It's not particularly pretty on the eye. It is very much relying on keeping a clean sheet and trying to nick it on the set piece. I mean, you've seen the goal we scored against West Ham. It's a long throw. bit innocuous, and Rodrigo sticks it in from a ridiculous angle as he has done all season. Newcastle, it's in the end it's a knockdown from a set piece that gets us a 2-2. Man City, it's something out of nothing. We get it to 2-1. We're not really going to create tons of chances. As much as Tottenham are a mess at the back, we're not going to be creating much against them. But I don't think Everton will create loads against Bournemouth. I just think Everton. I just see that team. Mina at the back have got a proper leader in that back line. We haven't got that at all. We haven't got a leader in the back line. Tyler Adams, who I think I saw mentioned in the chat, is probably our closest thing to a leader. He's a leader, to be fair. He's not on the pitch. The likes of Onana, McNeil, players who have produced for Everton this season, especially McNeil in recent weeks. Damari Gray, I think, has been pretty decent when he has played. Everton have got those players who can step up in big moments. For us, it's just Rodrigo. I think if you ask the majority of the Leeds fan base, if someone is going to keep us up this season on that final day, it will have to be a Rodrigo masterclass. Honestly, it will have to be something like that for us to produce against Tottenham. But yeah, I know Allardyce did kind of refer to it against Newcastle, that if we are still in with a chance going into the last game of the season, he'd take that. But I don't know, would you call a 3% chance, relying on two teams to drop points, a chance, really? I don't know. It's not a big
better than nothing, man.
Because both those teams are shit. So yes, it is a chance.
But so are we.
That's true.
So are we. That's the trouble. But I could possibly see us beating Tottenham, because we need to really step up in that game. Tottenham, in a pressure cooker environment, we're seeing full over time and time again. But just to the reply to that comment off Dean, I can't see Bamford playing. I think Bamford picked up an injury against West Ham. And in all honesty, our performance dropped off a cliff after Bamford came off. And in terms of he is that player who can give you a little bit of energy up top in terms of pressing. And I think he works well with Rodrigo. But yeah, I think Rodrigo, either way, had to go up top. I think we had to stop messing about with that and just put Rodrigo up top and supplement him with some kind of quality. But we'll see.
Yeah. On Bamford, Oscar, as much as everyone takes the piss out, just before I ask you, I've put a poll in the chat. Who's going to survive out of the three? It'll be interesting. Get your votes in. I'll be interested to see what the chat think. But on Bamford, as much as people take the piss out of him, and we love him dearly at Forest for the miss against Leicester, he does hold the play up well for you guys. It's his finishing that's atrocious, isn't it? That's what all you Leeds fans keep telling me when you defend him.
Well, it's true. It is true. We do play better with Bamford in the team. There's no doubt about that at all. But ultimately, when you look back on the season, it'll be the finishing that he gets judged on. And his finishing, it's not just this season. This is the thing that kind of winds me up a little bit in terms of some of the analysis of Bamford. He was missing chances the year we went up. He was still playing great that year we went up, but he was still missing chances then. Even the first season back in the Prem, where he got 17 goals, 8 assists, I think, which is as good as what Ivan Toney's been doing at Brentford. I'm not comparing it to Ivan Toney, by the way, but I'm just saying, but even then, he was missing chances. Last season, he's missing chances. It's just the nature of what Bamford is. He's never been a particularly prolific finisher, but he does offer a lot to the team. And for me, he's better in the front two. No, probably will end up going to Forest, but knowing our luck. I cannot understand how little we've used Nonto in the second half of the season.
Because against Forest, he had a cracking first half, and then we brought Serge Aurier on and stopped him. But since then, he kind of fell out of favour with your old manager. But I still don't see... he's your best player, surely. I know you guys have Tyler Adams, but he's injured.
I think him and Sestera are probably our two biggest bright spots. I think Rodrigo, overall, you've got to say, is probably our best player, in all honesty. And so he might not be the most complete player, but he is probably our best player in terms of who can step up and keep this team up on their own. But Nonto, he has to start against Tottenham. But he plays without fear. That's the one thing that really winds me up. I mean, I don't want to dig out too many players, but I will actually. I think probably 9 or 10 out of the 11 players who started against West Ham just consumed by fear. Other than probably Joe Robles and Rodrigo, I don't think anyone else was really believed that 1-1, 2-1 down, they were ever going to get back into that game. So it sums it up. But Nonto, he does play that little bit of fearlessness. Somerville's a similar story as well. Somerville kind of has dropped off a bit since that Forest game as well. I just can't understand why we don't use them. These are the players who can produce moments for us. As much as I like Jack Harrison, unless he's got, when it's all on him to deliver, I don't think Jack Harrison is that player. He's that player who is kind of like the side piece of the attack. He will give you some the odd goal and assist, but he's never going to carry the team. He didn't really do it at the Championship level. He's not going to do it at Premier League level. I like him as a player, but yeah, you have to be looking at Gnonto and Somerville for me on the wings, Rodrigo up top, and goodness knows who in the number 10 role, because Brendan Aronson is not it for me. He's just not at a level.
Yeah.
Whether we need to go to a midfield 3, like we did against West Ham again, I'd be happy enough to do that. But yeah, we've got to try something a little bit different. We've just got to go for it. I mean, I know Sam Allardyce, the way he plays, we're going to sit back a little bit, but that first 10, 15 minutes is so important that we start well. Even better if we can get a goal, because it does put that pressure on Everton and Leicester. I know as much as it's all about the job you do, but if you do sense that bit of tension around the ground, the results are coming through.
Yeah.
We saw it at Brentford last season. We scored early in that game. Burnley felt the pressure. I always remember from that Brentford away game, honestly, one of the best moments of my life supporting Leeds. And it's madness, really, considering it was such a terrible season. But I always remember the noise in the ground when Burnley conceded. When Burnley conceded in that game, I mean, it was just unbelievable in terms of how much of a lift. And the whole performance on the pitch against Brentford just went up another level. And then the same way, actually, when Burnley got a goal back against Newcastle late on, bit of nerves then. Brentford scores, nerves. Hang on a minute, Burnley score, we're down, and then we won it late on with a pretty lucky deflected goal. And it does really play a part. I don't care what any manager says, it does play a part in that last day of the season when stuff's happening elsewhere. We saw it in the Championship as well, in the fact that Millwall bottled the playoffs, not digging out Millwall specifically here, but the lift that gave Sunderland to then push into the playoffs and the other teams around them, it makes a difference. So we have to start the game well against Tottenham. Otherwise, we've got no chance.
This is going to be... I'm so excited for Sunday. Lee, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I've got a question for John, Jace, and the Beach Boys over there. With the relegation fodder of me, Mike, and Oscar, what players would you handpick out of these teams, whichever one goes down?
Let me get my shopping list, mate.
I'd love to know.
I really want to ask.
I love intrigued. I'm just intrigued. Because it always happens. No matter what team goes down, they always get raided. So, what players are you raiding out of these teams that are still involved in this?
Can I recommend McKenna to anyone?
No, we're good, mate. We're good.
We were in for him at the same time you guys were, and we were all looking at that, going, "Wow, that was a great bullet dodged."
I remember when we were in from Ope, I'm really happy about that one. But go on, Ant, answer Chappie's question.
Yeah.
Who would you? Everyone go for two. Let's just do two each.
Two each. No, let's do one. They've not got two between them.
No, across the 3 teams. Pick 2.
Across the 3 teams.
Oh, okay. I would go Gnonto and Onana.
No, okay. John? 1 second, John. Sharky, thank you so much for the £2. Want to thank all the boys for being good sports. They are legends, so please do subscribe to their channels because their content is amazing. All in the descriptions, so please click on those. John, go on, John.
I think that... I think these would be unrealistic because I do think these would be players that would be going above what Bournemouth currently are in terms of as a club.
So it's a Forest
problem. I'd certainly be going because we're in desperate need of an upgrade at fullback. So I'd be going for Walker Peters. But I do think he is. I do think that he would. Walker Peters has definitely got it in him to go to a team that are either fighting for or already in the top 6. So I don't think we'd get him. But I would definitely try to. And the other one is entirely depends on whether Jefferson Lerma signs a new deal or not. Because in all likelihood, Jefferson Lerma is going to go. So we need a tough tackling, ball-winning midfielder. And one of the players that's shone in that area would be probably Tyler Adams. Who I think has been a player that really I think you can go back to when they lost him at Leeds and just seen that it's all gone downhill from there. So I think those would be the 2. I think if we're going to focus on areas we need improvement, those would be the 2 I'd go for.
Mikey, how do you feel, man? He's kind of gone for a double raid on your boys there with I can never say his name. No, you said you wanted
Walker Peters, which is Southampton, Tyler Adams, which is Leeds.
And the midfielder? Mike's little pet?
We didn't say him.
I think you said him. Oh, was that what I was thinking? I was thinking
Lavia.
Yeah, didn't you say Lavia? I thought you said him.
No,
I mentioned Lavia.
Okay, I was dreaming about him.
Lavia as well, but
Lavia is a shout, but I mean, I think the issue with Lavia is that, as Mike has said, Lavia's got a lot of credit from people that haven't necessarily watched Southampton all season. You ask the Southampton fans, and Mike's the one that I see most regularly on these, and he would say that under the lights he's great, but outside of that, I don't know. Maybe he's not.
Are you buying his bullshit? He's going for the hands off.
Aren't they, as well? The big boys are looking at him.
Here's the one thing I'd say is that if I'm gonna want an opinion on a player, I'll ask a fan of that club over anyone else, because here's the issue is that Bournemouth at the moment, there are pundits out there that saying Gary O'Neill is the manager of the season. Now you ask Bournemouth fans, and they'll tell you that is absolutely ridiculous. He's done a good job. He's done bordering on a very good job, but he hasn't done the elite jobs that the likes of Eddie Howe have done. When it comes to players, there's certain ones I definitely would pick out at the moment. But if I want an opinion on those players, I think the best people to ask is going to be the people that are here that I watch them every single week. And Lavia is one that pundits have been drawing over, but they haven't. Let's face it, they haven't been watching what Southampton have been doing against other teams down the bottom in games before the last month or so. So that's you need a good opinion of them over the whole season.
Okay, Jace. I want you to take one from each club. Take one from each club.
Hang on, you let me take one from each club. Hang on, Jace.
You know what?
Hang on, Jace. Whoa. I didn't get. I wanted one from each club, and you said
go on then.
Billy.
We're not going down.
Oh, it looks stupid now.
Hang on. That's the person that has really gone at Bournemouth today has been Anne. Only one that's thrown any shade at Bournemouth.
Everything okay, guys? What's going on?
That was pretty good.
Mate, it's scrambling your brain. That's what it's doing.
How many pina coladas?
Change your shirt. Drop the pina coladas. Go for a walk. Come back.
Let's move on, Jace. One from each.
Yeah, let's move on.
I wouldn't take any of these. The gutless, weak, pathetic.
No,
Do you really think I would want them in my team? These weak players, these pathetic
What about when you lose Declan Rice?
Players. What do you think I'm going to get? One of these piss poor players? It's I don't want none of maybe Madison. I wouldn't want anyone else.
I knew it. I knew he was going to say Madison. I knew he was going to say Madison.
Piss poor
that's
players.
the one. I have Madison. That's the other one. Yeah, they're going down, aren't they? Yeah,
Piss poor players. Weak.
Mike, if you stay up, I'll give you. We'll do the same question here. Out of Leeds and what's Chappie's team called again? Leicester. Who would you take if you took one from each? You guys in the chat, who do you want on your shopping list as well?
From Leicester, I would take Madison, if not Harvey Barnes, because one of the two of them. Leeds, I would take Nonta.
Okay.
Either of them is not going to sign for Everton, though, so pointless.
All right, Chappie, let's for the realms of fantasy here. Go on, your question. What's your answer? Everton and Leeds, are you taking?
God. Oh, and Southampton
trying to
as well,
pick
right?
over a dead corpus.
Oh, well, I played the sold already. Sold.
Yeah.
Well,
John took them all.
I mean, Ward-Prowse is obviously an easy one to pick, really. And I go with Calvert-Lewin because we need to replace Vardy at some point.
It's not fit.
Yeah.
So that injury record,
What's his injury now, Mike? What's he out with this time?
Hamstring.
That's 6 weeks.
So we'll be in the Championship at that point. We'll have Melbourne pay up front instead.
All right, Chappie. So are you taking from Oscar then?
Pascal Strike.
Big
I go with what's the little lad on the left? What's his name?
Nonto.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, you can tell Chappie hasn't watched a single Leeds match this season, has he?
No, I've not.
That little lad.
I can't blame him.
Runs up and down on that side. Him.
Listen, my father-in-law supports Leeds. I try to avoid it at all costs. All right.
Okay. The hatred's coming out now. The true colours. Oscar, who are you taking?
Everton, Onana, Leicester, Maddison. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Can you hold on to Nana, Mike? If you go down, he's gone, isn't he?
To be honest, he's gone even if we stay up. And it's not. I mean, you guys, you seem to be all saying that he's a fantastic player. To be honest, he doesn't fit Everton at all. We've actually played better without him in the team. So, if we get what we paid for him, I'd be more than happy to sell him anyway. If I'm being honest, I like.
But you're quoting like 60 mil, aren't you, Mike?
Say again.
You're saying like 60 mil for him, aren't you? I've seen some
Yeah, but
reports on that.
this is the same Everton team that sold £5 million Anthony Gordon for 45 million. You know, we need the money, boys. We need the money.
Richarlison.
Mike, what did you pay for Onana? What did you pay for Onana?
38
million.
Yeah.
But see, what I was talking about, Wolvie, is that you ask a fan of the team about the player.
Yeah, it's always the best thing.
Onana's been getting those like he's going to be signed for 70 or 80 million by a top 4 team, and it's like, no, you've not been watching him every week, have you?
No, I suspect.
I'm sure he's got a lot of great qualities. You look at him physically, and you think that there's definitely a hell of a lot in there. Yeah. But like, has he consistently shown it at the moment? Clearly not, because he's playing for a team that's in the bottom 3, and he's not. He
doesn't fit Everton. That's the problem. You know, he's definitely a quality footballer, but he's clearly young. He's clearly got the right attitude, but again, he makes a lot of sloppy mistakes. Everton need players that have got maturity to drag this team through it. Onana feeds on, without sounding silly, vibes. You know, he wants positivity. he wants the right things around him.
He's a youngster.
Do you think he'd be better in a better team, Mike? Do you think he would?
The perfect team for Onana is Arsenal, because he'll learn from Partey.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. It's quite funny because if you look at someone like Bissouma, everybody was raving about Bissouma at Brighton, weren't they? And he went really
Spurs,
cheap at 25 quid to Spurs, and look what's happened.
To be fair on that one, Conte didn't want him, so he was never going to play.
Yeah,
and
it would not surprise me. This is the curveball. It would not surprise me if Onana is Declan Rice's replacement.
Would you take him, Jace?
Surprise.
You know what? It was down to us and Everton who he went, and he went with Everton. He did, so I wouldn't want him at our club anymore, to be honest.
Oh, sloppy seconds, huh? Sloppy seconds.
I would not want no.
All right, let's do the fun bit now, right? We're going to start with Oscar. Oscar. And guys in the chat, get your answers in. Who's going down?
Oh God.
This is the bit I've been waiting for the whole episode. Who's going down? Let's get all these views in.
No, be careful what you say because clipping is happening.
I can honestly see all 3 teams potentially winning on that final day.
I thought you were going to say all 3 teams going down.
They're that bad, they're going to make an exception and send them all down.
Sorry, Oscar, who did you say?
Leicester and Leeds. Do you want to say Leeds again for another 4th time?
Yeah, just for those clipping, I just want to make sure they got it clear on the clips. So the double L, yeah. Mikey Everton.
I think. I think Leicester stay up. So whatever the results go that way.
You just don't want to say the E word, innit? Out your mouth going down. He can't bring himself to say it.
Do it.
Let me do Chappie first, so we get the 3 amigos in, and then we'll go around the neutrals-ish. Chappie, what are you saying?
Get close to the camera so you can clip this nicely.
Yeah,
Leicester
I'm ready. Hold
will
on.
beat the drop! Leicester will beat the drop.
You liar.
Jace, are you proud of your boy? He's found a bit of fight from nowhere.
Oh, finally.
Beat the drop.
Finally. Happy days. Happy days.
Wait, Chappie, I'm a little confused because yesterday I got like an essay on WhatsApp crying about we're down.
No, you did
Talk
not.
to me about the championship.
No, you didn't. What are you lying for? You fucking liar. Hear me out, right? Message yesterday. Right, listen to this. This was 7:10. You've deleted it, you fucking wanker. I can't believe it.
I haven't deleted shit.
Oh no, here it is. Here it is. By the way, you are staying up. Clip it, is what he said.
Bear in mind,
there.
Bear in mind, me and Mikey had a long day yesterday, all right? All will be revealed later in the week, yeah? So I was tired, maybe a little delusional. I mean, I broke my back. Mike broke his back as well. That sounds a little weird.
Getting worse. It's getting worse.
Good lord. We're going to that skiing again.
Yeah, someone else doing a double job.
So we can't say much more, but it will. You guys will know soon.
I bet you can't.
Yeah, but so Chappie, yeah, I still think. Okay, I mean, I'll come to my view in a minute. But are you changing your mind? Because you were saying you were down yesterday.
Jamie Vardy's going to come and save the day because he's got to, isn't he? It's in his whole career. It's what he does.
I've got to ask you, if Vardy goes to like Scunthorpe United next season, does that mean you start supporting Scunthorpe United for the old?
No, don't be daft. He's going to his own club in America, Rochester FC. I've already got a top ready.
All right, so are you actually saying you're safe? Is that your final answer?
I think we'll somehow, some way, we'll end up staying up. I don't know. We won't deserve it. We've been absolutely terrible. I think we've been worse than Everton. I think we've been worse than Leeds. But somehow, some way, we're going to stay up.
Okay. Interesting. Mike, who's joining you?
Oh, me. Yeah, I forgot I was relegated. Right, okay. Who's joining me?
Isn't it nice not to have that stress?
Yeah, I'm battling. I forgot.
I was expecting John to talk to me because Ant said he'd...
Who's
Forest
me?
are going down. There you go.
Hearing Everton might talk about the score prediction, him saying 2-2, I can totally see that scoreline happening. So with that in mind, it's whether or not Leicester can get a result at home, and I can't see Leeds. I can see Leeds beating Spurs, but I can't see him beating them 3-0. So this is a long answer, isn't it? So I'm going to go.
Yeah, go on. I want to hear the maths behind it. It's important.
With that all that logic, I can see Leicester pulling it out the bag. It's some kind of madness happening on the final day. So yeah, and weirdly, and I'm really sorry to say this, Mike, I kind of want to see what's going to happen to Everton if it happens. I'm just being brutally honest here. I just sort of weirdly want to work because everyone's gone on about this financial ruin. I just want to push the atomic button and just see what happens.
This is the mic we've been waiting for all these months. His final takedown.
I am just the worst.
It's strangely going brighter on Mike.
Jace, you've been a bad influence. Even Mike has turned on his mic.
Exactly. Listen, lads.
This guy.
We've got to believe in your team. Well, like I have. I told you all we would get to the final of the Conference Cup. We did. I told you we would.
We're not doing this. This isn't the drop. This isn't the Euro Trash Cup, mate.
And I was right, but
Jace,
I just want to quickly say. I really want Everton to go down. I really do. So long. I'm so torn. I'm literally so torn. Maybe that's why I did that for Chappie, to give him that hype, because let's take Everton down.
I watched your. As you know, I watched your watch. Thank you for the impressions, by the way. I didn't know I sounded like a drunken flea aristocrat from a PG Woodhouse. There you go.
It's quite good though.
I watched your watch along for the Euro semi-final. I think,
and let's not talk about it yet. Talk about it after. All right. Don't worry about that.
All right. Let's get back to the predictions before we completely derail. So, Jace, are you saying Everton are going down, or are you saying you want them down?
I want them down, but I can't. I don't know. It's hard, man. It's hard. I've got to say West Ham's going to win. So Leicester's done in it. To be honest, Leicester are done.
Wow.
Well, there's three teams that go down.
Leeds are gone. Leeds are gone. In Leicester.
Poor Oscar, man. Poor Oscar. Gosh, no one's saving Oscar yet. Johnny boy, has Oscar got any hope with you?
He's got a 4% hope. Was it a 3%?
No, 3. It's 3, mate. Where'd you get the extra 1% from?
Why are you being so ambitious, John?
Rounding error, will be. But yeah, I think, as I spoke about in terms of the game between Bournemouth and Everton, I can quite easily see that being a draw. To be fair, I could see any result on that one, but I think it's more likely that it's going to be Everton going to find it very difficult under the pressure that they've got, whereas Bournemouth can play any game they really want to, and just really can hopefully wait for Everton to try and force the game and Bournemouth counter attack.
John,
it depends.
Give us the stats, man. Give us the bloody stats. That's all we want from you. Give us the bloody stats.
I've already given you the stats. I'm interested about what these impressions are, because
really want to see
I
those
don't
numbers.
think he can make his voice well spoken enough to do an impression of me. But yeah, look, okay, fine. Simple answer: I don't see Leeds, even if Leeds win, which they could do against Spurs. I don't see them getting a three goal win. So I can't see really almost any way in which Leeds stay up personally. Then it comes down to, if Everton draw with Bournemouth, which I think is pretty likely, Leicester have to win. So it all comes down to, and while admittedly there's more pressure on Everton as we've spoken about, it does, I think, all come down to, can Leicester beat West Ham? Oh, there you go. I don't see it personally. I just don't see Leicester beating West Ham. I just think that West Ham have just got far too much confidence. The physicality, I don't think that Leicester can really deal with, because West Ham are a team that can absolutely bully you off the park every day of the week. It's going to be a hell of a performance if Leicester win this, beat West Ham. And heck, if they do beat West Ham, no matter how they do it, by hook or by crook, they'll deserve to stay up. But
we did go there and
I'm
get
not
the
too
win.
Sure.
Before Christmas, November, we did go there and get the 2-0 win.
As you were talking about, before Christmas,
It was a long
you were
time.
Holding on for dear life, man.
Yeah.
Before Christmas, you were keeping clean sheets at all. You were actually had some decent performances, and then after the World Cup, it all sort of continued to fall down. Since the World Cup, the 3 teams in the bottom have been the 3 worst teams in the league. So it's just about how can you claw your way back out of that after all this time, and really the fact that all 3 of you got a chance makes it exciting. Well, for us on the beach, it does anyway.
Wait, so what the fuck was your answer?
Yeah, what was
your Leicester, sorry. Leeds and Leicester. I said that I can't see Leicester beating West Ham, so it's Leeds and Leicester.
Leeds and Leicester. All right. Anthony.
I used to be, actually, very briefly.
As I say, football's sport, anything can happen, so I'm not discounting anybody out, by the way. But I will go with my head.
Disclaimers, yeah, okay.
No, I'm going to go with my head. Everton stay up, because they're currently in the position where they're staying up. So that's the reason, It's very simple.
Wow. Well, the chat agrees with, or the chat, shall I say, has backed with 60% of the vote Everton to stay up. Leicester on 32%. And then Leeds. Oh, Oscar, man. Mike, you better be here next week to hug Oscar, man. 8% for Leeds. 8%.
So, 8% voted.
I was going to say, I'll take that.
Oscar voted.
Congrats, Oscar. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Oscar voted Leicester.
Decent.
Yeah.
That's more than the 3% that Opta has given you. Yeah, bloody hell. I'm gonna say, and as soon as I say the name, don't get excited, because everyone in the chat will start spamming Jinx Arena in a minute, because anyway, right. I've just got a sneaky feeling that Bournemouth will draw with Everton, Leeds will win 2-0, and Leicester will survive by winning 1-0. That would be some fucked up finale, man, but I can see that happening. So that would mean that Everton and Leeds would go down on... who would go down on goal difference? Would they all be level on points with that?
No, Leeds... Oh, yeah, no, they would all be level on points. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
All 3 of you could end up level on points.
Yeah, but goal difference...
horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Goal difference.
Is it worse? Oscar, would it be worse to go down on goal difference or on points?
Well, fucking lovely questions you're asking,
goal
Wolvie.
difference, yeah, goal difference would be great. Especially like this, because it all come for like last month, losing 5-1 to Palace, 4-1 to Bournemouth, 6-1 to Liverpool. Our goal difference actually looked okay before like the last international break.
Yeah, now you've got the worst defence in the league.
It was
That's
decent.
what caused it all.
Yeah.
That's
So,
like
that'd
saying,
be
would you
worse,
rather lose your left leg or your right leg?
Left,
Well,
definitely.
yeah, it's a little bit of that,
Definitely.
isn't it? But
Yeah, but that's my prediction. Imagine all three of you finish on, what will it be, like 34 points or something?
Four.
Oof. Oof. I'll be looking forward to next week's episode. Right, let's wrap it up there. We've gone on for ages. I want to thank the panel, especially the three boys who we've been absolutely scrutinizing today. As always, you've been legends. Guys, we've had 500 in here. There's still over 450 of you in here. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the banter and the chat with the guys. Make sure, first thing you do now, if you haven't already, one, hit the like button. Secondly, subscribe to all their channels. It's a quick click in the description. That's all you've got to do. Show them some love. We will be back next week, and we will be saying goodbye to 2 out of the 3. God. Who will it be? It's going to be a hell of a weekend. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week on Beat the Drop. And come on, you Reds, Blues, Blacks, whatever you're wearing. Good night.